All right, Facebook and Instagram. I thought on my 50th birthday, I would share some lessons that I've learned along the way. I recently gave a speech to a graduating class for Lou Jaffe, a professor at Loyola Marymount University. And what I thought I would do is share. He asked me what I know now at 50 that I wish I would have learned much earlier, probably when they were graduating college. So I wrote down a whole list of things. So I'm just going to go through this really quickly. Figured I would do it on my 50th birthday. Why not? So my father recently passed away in November. My mom passed away 7 years earlier, unexpectedly, both of them. So one thing I wish is I would have spent more time with them. So I would encourage you to spend more time with family. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. Hey, Dean. Hey, guys. Hey, Johnny. Hey, everybody. One of the things I remember as a kid, both my mom and my dad, they were at my sporting events starting at 8 years old. And then my sister and I and my brother were all three sport athletes. And literally my parents showed up at all the events all the time, early in the afternoon. Pretty incredible. Let me figure out how to get rid of this part. How do I get, let's see here. Let's see. Continue. Hey, do you guys know on Facebook how where it doesn't, let's see, can finish. Do you want to continue? Okay, there you go. So anyway, going through some of the lessons. These are all memories that I'll always cherish. So if you got kids or family members, try to spend as much time with them. I think we should all be kinder, nicer, love more. We should serve more. We should make a bigger difference for more people. When someone is young, obviously if they're, let me see here how to do this. Oops, no, let's see. Oops. Hey, Karina, let's see. Okay. So the other thing is, I think whether you're later on in life or early in life, you need to go figure out what you're passionate about and figure out what you're most skilled at, and hopefully those two things match in the middle. I was just at a conference for SALT with very high-profile people, a lot of money. I was also at another event recently, and let's see, Anyway, so I was at two events in the last, I've probably spoken to 15 or 20 billionaires literally in the last 2 weeks, so a lot of money at the two events. But if you're not happy, it doesn't matter what the hell you're doing. So I'd say be happy, figure out what it takes for you to be happy, either in your personal life or your business. And if you're not, you really need to reevaluate on what matters to you most. Let's see. If you're young, definitely take a natural aptitude test early on. So figure out what you're really gifted at. In terms of figuring out who's doing things that are like super successful in if you're in business, who's already doing what you want. If there's someone in charity, figure out what that is and just go help them. And proximity is power. I think I learned this years ago from Tony Robbins. Help people with things they care about. I'll give you two examples. Two people that are business moguls that I look up to, that I aspire to be. So Michael Milken, Richard Branson. Michael does the Milken Conference. He had 5,500 people, including presidents of countries, Fortune 500 CEOs, billionaires, A-list celebrities, just incredible people. He helps so many charities, makes such a huge impact. And I met him the other day, and I told him I want to help him on his event. I told Anthony Scaramucci, who runs SALT, this huge, couple thousand people that were here, and Mark Cuban was here, and just rock star people all over the place. And I told him I want to help him on his next event. So I'm going to help support them with things that they care about. I would encourage you guys to do the same. Help people with bucket list items. I was at the NBA All-Star Weekend. I met a gentleman in front of me. We were just chit-chatting. He's got kids in L.A. I told him I'm happy to help. They're in the movie business. And I said I'll send them my book, and if I can ever connect them, happy to do so. And I mentioned I just got back from the Grammys, and he's like, oh, I've always wanted to go. I'm like, it's a really tough ticket to get, but at the end of the day, happy to make that happen for you. It turns out he's one of the owners of the Boston Celtics, so you just never know. But help people with their bucket list items. Help people with their dreams, their goals, things that they care about, because that's kind of what it's important. Hey, Ren, I know you're in the movie business, so we'll follow up on that. Help people with their health. help people with their kids. You help things with their kids, their grandkids. That really goes a long way. And by the way, can you guys write down in the comments if you're, because I don't have the time. If you guys could put down some of the comments of what I'm sharing, that would actually help me. Or share this with other people. Let's see what else. Help people when they're down. If you help people when they're down, they will always remember. If someone's health is messed up and they got cancer or they've got, whatever disease or, health crisis they have, if they're sick, if you could provide them a resource, a nutritional product, a doctor, whatever it is, that's going to go a long way. People will never forget if you help them with their health, and I never forget when they're down. One of my mentors asked me, do I have contacts or do I have connections? And I've always remembered that. His name was David Noor. Relationships matter. Again, be kind, be generous, give to givers. If you give to givers, I think things are going to get a lot easier for you. If you give to assholes and people that are takers, they're just going to take. So if you could build an entire tribe, build friends that will always have your back. My friend Keith Ferrazzi taught me that. Smile more. The more you smile, you can influence someone just by smiling. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to speak their language. By the way, if someone's phone goes dead and you could provide them a simple battery pack, that goes a long way. You can connect with anyone at any event in the world as long as you got a battery pack. Bring extra battery packs, give them to others. I'm telling you, you can. If Bill Gates ran out of, or Jeff Bezos ran their phone dead, and you got the battery pack, you can reach out to them later on in life. I promise you. If you're at a private event and there's 2 or 3 people talking, and you're not in a private conversation, invite other people into the conversation. It's something really simple to do, but it does go a long way. These days, I really try to spend time with people that are socially conscious. I would encourage you guys to do the same. I have a no asshole rule. So no matter how successful you are, if you are an asshole, if you're not nice to people lower on the totem pole, if you're not nice to your assistant, if you treat people badly, if you're a bully, if they're not nice to the waiters and just the janitor or whatever, I don't give a shit how wealthy they are. I don't care if they're a billionaire. I don't want anything to do with them. So I'd rather just deal with nice people. It's so much easier. If you're dealing with successful people that are nice and kind and generous, it's just easy. Much easier. Here's my winning formula. Some of you guys may have heard this. Authentic connections. When I try to connect, when I was at a big conference a week ago, and I met a guy who manages a couple $1 billion, runs a hedge fund. And most people, they meet these people and they go automatically into pitch mode. By the way, if you ever meet someone famous or of success or of influence, don't go into pitch mode the minute you meet them. That is just dumb. Build a relationship with the people first. They're a person. Human-to-human connections is where it's at. Just figure out who they're at. Anyway, we talked about the fact that he had his daughter is graduating Brown University. I'm going to try to put her in touch with people that I know in the advertising world. He mentioned to me that his wife was going back into the workforce, but she hasn't worked in years. And I was like, you know what? Let me help. I gave him 2 or 3 book ideas for her. We talked about all sorts. As a matter of fact, we talked about my dad passing away unexpectedly, my mom passing away unexpectedly. We talked about his mother passing away unexpectedly. And he said his mom called him, said, "Hey, I've got something to tell you." And he never found out what it was. But that's what we talked about. And here it is. I just met him a week ago, but I guarantee I can call him today and he would respond right away. Because A, I'm helping his daughter. I'm trying to help his mom, his wife. And I think him and I are going to have a long, long, long relationship for years. So authentic connection. Find out what's important to someone. And when you find out what's important to someone, my third thing is just help them get it. Doesn't get more simple than that. Become a VC. You don't have to be a venture capitalist. Just be a value creator for other people. Everywhere I go, I always try to be. As a matter of fact, I am at the MGM, part of the MGM properties at the Vadora Hotel. I met the CEO and chairman of the MGM, Jim Murin, 10 years ago, all because I was complimenting the security guard who was very nice to me. And I said, I'm going to let your boss know about how nice and kind you are. And then I saw a gentleman walking by who was just in gym clothes, and I said, I just assumed the way she addressed him that maybe he worked at the MGM. It turned out he was the CEO and chairman of the whole MGM. Pretty incredible. So anyway, help other people, be value. And one of the ways you can add value, tell them about a book, tell them about a magazine article, tell them about a restaurant. If there's a cool event, opening up your network, connecting your network. Simple things go a long, long way. If there's a cool podcast you heard, like my friend Jim Quick's got a great podcast on learning faster, reading faster. People like Ed Milet have got great, content. Lewis Howes, Tony Robbins, all sorts of people have got great. I've got great content. Share my content. So books, articles, videos. Forward these kind of things. People like to laugh. So if you find things that are funny, a funny meme, a funny joke, forward it to people. It's a great way of staying in touch. So being a value creator, and then last, you got to be great on following up. Just because you meet someone once and have a good connection doesn't mean anything. You got to stay in touch over long periods of time. And I've got relationships. Some of them go back 40, 45 years. And you just got to do that. And when you have a lot of relationship capital and connection currency, you can get anything you want quicker, faster, better. People, no matter what you want, someone else already has whatever you want. You're trying to raise money for real estate? Trust me, someone has got money. You want to get connected to someone super famous and influential? Guaranteed. I was with someone yesterday. One of their best friends in Hollywood is a big A-list actor. I've always wanted to meet the guy. He happens to be in the real estate business. You know what? I'm going to try to get him on the panel here at next year's SALT. Why? Because he could benefit from being in front of all this money. And I'm sure I'll meet him that way because I'm going to add value to him, I want to meet Lady Gaga. I really admire her, what she's up to. I'm going to go raise money for her, so you guys can go do the same. Find a mentor. Mentors are the best, and add value to the mentor first, and then they can kind of reciprocate and help you back. Some of my mentors over the years have been Jay Abraham, Tony Robbins. Thank you, Kelly O'Neill. I appreciate that. My friend Steve Bachman, Keith Ferrazzi, I've learned so much from him over the years. My former business partner, a guy named Chet Holmes, wrote a great book called The Ultimate Sales Machine. By being around really super successful people, you just think differently. I've been spending some time around Grant Cardone. He's bought $1 billion of real estate. He's 10xing his life. As a matter of fact, I'm going to reread his 10x rule because I really want to 10x my life. I want to 10x everything from my speeches to my business to my level of impact on how much money I raise for charity, all these things. Yes, Karina, I will be your mentor. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. But literally what I've noticed is like Michael Milken, this guy's trying to change the world, and like the way these people think, it's not, being a millionaire, you should all strive to be a millionaire because it just, and more so than that actually, because it's the person you'll become for doing so. And even $1 million doesn't even go very far these days. And I think Jim Rohn once said that, become the person you want to become. What characteristics, what are their core values, what are their habits, what are their rituals? Those kind of things are going to make a huge impact on you. Connect your network. I am always connecting my network. I met a guy this week. He runs the family office for one of the wealthiest people in the world, for one of the most successful companies in the world. I know who his boss is. You all know who his boss is because he's created one of the most unbelievable companies on the planet. And I'm introducing that guy to people in my network. And this guy can pretty much get anyone to return his call because he manages the money of one of the wealthiest people in the world. And it's all about connecting the dots. Become a professional inviter. I invite people to the SALT conference for next year. I invite people on webinars, on live streams. I invite people to charity events. I invite people to dinner. Not even many of my own things. I invite them for other people's things. And when you're able to become a professional inviter, I joke around, but just invite people to things that you care about. Is there a charity or a cause that you care about? Invite people. Even if you can't afford the ticket, just invite them. Let them know. If there's a cool webinar, a cool podcast, a cool live stream, just invite them to it. Add value, plug the network that way. Work hard and play hard. I talk to so many people. All they do is work, work, work. And I used to be one of those people too. Well, what? Life is short. I promise you. There's going to come a day. Listen, there's someone today that's going to go to sleep that's not going to wake up tomorrow. And so all work and no play, that doesn't make any sense. So you got to kind of combine. Is there a way to combine work and your passion and things you do all in one? That's even the best way to go. Spend more time with family and friends. I mentioned that. I would have gotten my money game right early on. When I was 12 years old, 13 years old, I started investing money, doing really, really well. But my mid-20s, I've made it and lost it so many times. I mean, I'm finally on the uptick, and I'll probably make more money in the next 12, 24, 36 months than I've probably made in the last 35, 40 years combined. So, again, it's taking that wisdom. But get your money right early. Invest money early on so the money can kind of work for you. Live today like it's your last. Fear the fear and do it anyway. Most things you worry about never come to pass. Life is about having friends, but good friends. It's the right friends. My friend Bob Bodine wrote a book called The Power of Who. He says if you've got one friend, if you've got 3 friends, you're blessed. He's got 12 friends that are really good friends, and his philosophy is if you've got 12 friends, you can accomplish anything you want. And I'm a big believer if you have just a couple of close friends that will tell you the truth. There's a lot of people that talk about you behind your back. You want people that would tell you the truth about what people are saying behind your back, and you want really honest feedback and stuff like that. Let's see. You got to be vulnerable and authentic. I mean, I tell people I've battled depression over the years. I've made it and lost it. I've been selectively outsourced 4 times in my life. That's a way of saying I've been fired 4 times. The thing I got fired for the last time on April 1st, 2007 is the thing I'm most famous for. They said I was doing too much networking, and here it is. I'm one of the most connected guys in the world, according to Forbes and Inc. and other kind of things, Don't let your weaknesses hold you back. Surround yourself, focus on your strength, surround yourself with others that are, they are gifted at the things you suck at, But you got to be authentic, and the way to truly connect with others is being vulnerable and being authentic, not beating your chest and telling people how great you are. Let other people talk about how great you are. You still need to promote, but I just think there's better ways of connecting with people, okay? Be a great storyteller. Everyone loves stories. If you can master the art of storytelling, you can master the art of influence. And, I do agree about great friends. Any investment tips or things to look into? We can talk about that in a second. Have long, slow dinners, long, slow lunches, long, slow breakfasts. Get to know people. My friend Keith Ferrazzi taught me that. He's got a great book called Never Eat Alone and Who's Got Your Back. Bouncing back. If you've had a setback along the way, listen, I've made it and lost it more times than I can count. If you're, if you're not where you want to be, it's okay. You're only one connection away, by the way, from changing your life. Only one. You're only one investment probably from, there's an angel investor out of Silicon Valley. He's probably worth hundreds of millions of dollars today because he invested in Uber early on. He took like 100,000, turned to 100 million. I bet he's worth a couple $100 million now because he put money into the right company. By the way, there's, with the internet these days, you can learn, you can self-teach yourself. Everyone on the planet from Howard Schultz to Tony Robbins to Richard Branson, they publish their content for free. It's all out there. I would have learned to play piano when I was younger because I love music. By the way, bouncing back, my former client, self-made billionaire, 23rd wealthiest man in America, Bill Bartman, wrote a book called Bouncing Back. One of my friends, Tom McMurrin, went to prison. He has bounced back, created a lot of wealth for him and his family and helped others along the way. So you really can go, do it. I think we need political, I think Washington needs the Democrats and the Republicans to know we're all Americans and just to get along. They need a level set in Washington. Nothing ever gets done. It's kind of crazy. I think we need criminal reform because the system's broken and that needs to get fixed. Be careful on who you hang out with because you're going to become who you hang out with. So whatever you want, someone else is already doing it. How do you get in close enough orbit? No, you're going to probably become your net worth will probably become if your 5 friends are all worth make $100,000 a year. Chances are pretty good you'll end up making 100 grand. If you want to make $1 million a year, hang out with people that make $1 million a year. You want to become a billionaire, hang out with other billionaires. You want to raise more money for charity, hang out with people that raise a lot of money for charity. If you want to get fit and lose weight and get healthier, hang out with people that are super healthy and in the gym all the time, because you'll pick up some of their habits. Ed Milet once said, if you're at 60 degrees or 70 degrees and someone else is at 100 degrees, you're not going to become 100 degrees, but you're going to move closer to where they're at. Be the linchpin. Be so valuable in the network. Be so valuable at your company. You don't need a title to be a leader. You just got to lead. You just got to do things. People will follow you if you're helpful and adding value and you're a true leader. Anyway, okay, let me go see if there are any questions. Let me go back and scroll down. Let's see. And first of all, thanks for being on. Thanks for wishing me a happy birthday, by the way. Let's see. I'm happy to answer any kind of questions you guys have. Let's tell people. Oops. And I've definitely gotten more from giving than I have from receiving. I think you'll find that any of the successful people you talk to. So, now visit, okay. Yeah, well, Ryan, well, hit me up when you're in LA. I'm in Vegas as we speak. If you guys are in Vegas, hit me up. Connection is key. Being the highest expression is our greatest contribution. Yeah, I get that, Megan. Hope you're doing well. We'll have to go do some hot chocolate again sometime, like Keith Ferrazzi's. Any investment tips or things to look into? I don't know. You probably want a diversified portfolio. I would say start early. I would start putting money aside. If you make $1, just put a percentage, 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever you can afford, 30%. I would definitely invest in real estate if you can, and I would find people that are amazing at what they do and make sure you're giving them the money. But educate yourself. Tony Robbins wrote a fantastic book. And I'm just drawing a mental blank, but it came out 2 years ago. I think it might be called Unshakable, Unstoppable, something like that. But go look at what Tony Robbins, it was all index funds, I think, are for the vast majority of people are a really, really good thing because they have low fees. Okay. Let me see if there's a... Whoops. Facebook, I don't know if I pushed the questions off or not. I can't find them. Let's see. How do I find comments? Oh. Anyway, okay. Let's see if there's any other question. Do you also find it easy to ask for help when you... Oh, you know what? Biggest lesson I've learned over my lifetime is you got to ask for help when you need it. There was many a times when my businesses went down, something was happening, I should have asked for help and I didn't. Also, if you're a person that is a giver, many givers find it hard to ask for help, including me. And I will tell you, you got to get good at it. There's a law. You got to give and you got to receive. You can't just give all the time. I did that for years. You got to be able to not take. You got to give and you got to receive. But when you're giving, you just got to do it without any expectation. Now you can't give all the time to one individual and nothing ever comes back. It's better just to have a good flow as far as that. So I hope that answers that question. You're welcome. All right, let's see. What other questions you got? I'm just trying to see if I can find the questions on my Facebook stream. Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. Let's see. What's the best way I should celebrate my 50th birthday party with 50th birthday with other people? Let me know. I'd love your thoughts. Let me see if I can't find some of the other questions. And then if I can help any of you guys, let me know how. I am getting ready to scale and grow a number of companies, which is really where my focus is these days. So let's see here. Let me see if I can't find some of the questions that are up. Hey, also, can you guys put in the comments, because it's my 50th, if I've helped you in some way, shape, or form, either in person over the years, if I've connected you over the years, and if I've made an impact on you in some way, shape, or form with my content, because I'm working on a book, and a new website and all these kind of things, if you can either put that in the comments or message me or something like that, that would actually be appreciative. And let's see here. I'm trying to think. Okay, well, anyway, let's see if there's other questions. Have I accomplished any goals I set forth for this year so far? Yes. Thank you on my happy birthday. Okay, got it. All right. By the way, on the mentoring stuff, I do a handful of private coaching, type things. So if you guys are looking for that kind of mentorship, my time these days is kind of limited. So if it's not in a paying relationship, what I would suggest is asking me questions when I'm on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Instagram, and I have set aside some limited time where I can answer specific questions. If you guys are really looking to game up and take your business to that next level, I'm happy to help and entertain, talking to you guys about that, standpoint as well. Let's see. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Hey, Michael, what is it you do again? Where is, let's see. I have so many windows open, I can't see I'm trying to find the questions on Facebook. And then I got all the birthday messages, so it's not letting me see my live on Facebook. So, oh well, okay. Well, again, while I'm on, I'm happy to answer any kind of questions. Yeah, that would be awesome. A video testimonial would be much appreciated. And any comments on how I've impacted you or, if I've connected you or whatever. So that would be appreciated. So, all right. Well, anyway, I hope you guys found that of value. If there was something that you did find of value, I will tell you this. One of the coolest birthday presents I've got is I gave a speech a couple weeks ago to the graduating class of Loyola Marymount. And the professor called to tell me his final thing that he gave for finals was they had to do an essay on 3 things that they learned in class over the semester. I was the last speaker of class. I didn't know this. I think he said 30 or 50% of the kids wrote down something that I shared, and he said he's going to send me 6 essays. He said it'll make me cry of something that I shared that made an impact for the kids. So that was cool. Let's see. Turn the biggest mistakes and failures into individual checklists. That's awesome. So, okay. All right, everybody. Well, anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope that was something of value. I wrote a bunch of ideas down I wish I would have known when I started out. And by the way, make sure you're going to the right events in your industry, whether they're philanthropic, whether they're business or whatever. If you can't afford to go, you could always work from some of those hotels, but just being in the right rooms with the right people, I can't express to you how important that is. And then the final thing I'll just say is happiness. I've always, wanted to have happiness, and that's probably no matter where you are in life. If you're not happy, figure out, and by the way, one of my, I gave a speech a couple years ago to, with the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith played the character, but there's a real guy, and him and I and another guy all did this event about happiness. And the number one researcher in the world, Sean Acre, told me the best way to be happy is write down 3 new things a day that you're grateful for every single day. So when I get up or if I'm in the shower, I'm literally asking myself, what am I'm grateful you guys are here. I'm grateful I'm here in Vegas. I'm grateful I was at this conference. I'm grateful for my brother, my sister, my parents, all this kind of stuff. So every single day I try to do that, and I encourage you guys to do the same. Obviously, the other thing is you want to go. I'm not doing it as much as I need to, but like meditation, I'm realizing is much more important, and the whole level of getting centered, grounded, with spirituality, stuff like that, taking care of yourself like that. So anyway, all right, well, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you a million. If you live in LA, San Diego, New York, San Francisco, I'll be getting to the airways soon. I'll probably be hosting some party, bringing my friends together, and celebrating your life as well. So, all right. So I will say goodbye. Appreciate you guys being on live, and look forward to connecting with you guys in the very near future. Appreciate it. Share this with other people or summarize it and pass it along. But more importantly, take an idea that you heard and implement it. And you know why? Because ideas are a dime a dozen. The people that implement them are priceless. So, yeah. Thank you. Peace. Have a great day.